Hello everybody, welcome along. Round 4 of GT3 Masters comes to you today from Kyalami. Lovely sunny weather there in the heart of South Africa. Looking absolutely stunning. Glad to have you all along with us. Bit weird hearing my own voice back. Got the test stream up, just making sure it was okay. Found myself talking to myself. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, round 4. I say from Kyalami, we just got about... well, practice is just gone. They've just dropped the checkered flag on practice, so the guys will be completing their laps. And there'll be a minute or so of horse time while they get their cars ready for qualifying, and then we'll start a qualifying session with, well, it's been very quick. I've been watching the practice times in the I don't want to say server, it sounds too false, but let's be honest, it's a server. Over the last week or so, been dominated by the Audi R8s, especially those of the current team leaders, WRT. That will be Bram Deprataire and David Dhoore. Those two. Well, I'll say those two run up. Bram, in fact, let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship, shall we? Bear me for a second, let's get that up. There we go. So Bram currently leads the Drivers' Championship there with 2:46. David Dhoore there in second. Got a penalty last week, dropped him down a place, 5 seconds, for an incident the stewards found was penalisable. Punishable, that's a better word, punishable. So unfortunately David dropped a couple of points after the flag dropped last week. So he sits in second. Wouldn't have got up to Bram, but all points matter, as you can see in this. Amadeo de Kaiser away last week, or a fortnight ago now, sorry. Did not race in that thing, so that's his drop round. Remember, only 6 of the 7 rounds will qualify for point scoring positions as they all pile out of the pits. Look at that, they're all chunking away there, aren't they? Excuse me while I just get onto that. There we go. Yes, only 6 of the 7 races count, so point scoring. So Amadeo's dropped his round, so all points for him will count from now on. Dhoore and Bram still have theirs to drop. James Mead was a DNF in race 1, you may remember, after his steering gave up the ghost on him, almost broke his wrists, but he's back and going strong after his win. Last time out, James Mead literally run away with the race, yeah, fortnights ago. So James there on 196. Ralf Arella, no really standout performances from Ralf other than the consistency you've come to expect from an 8-time champion in RRL League. Sits there in 5th with that BMW having absolutely no pace. This I can vouch for, having driven it around Kyalami. It's a circuit I absolutely love. Nowhere near expect to be on the pace of the guys up front, but to be 3 seconds off them, I can feel the pain of the guys like Jody Barraclough, Andre Mol, Benazzi and Von Son going a little bit quicker in their cars, I noticed, so fair play to them. And also Cy Fillingham and Ralf Arella really getting the most out of those cars possible, but even then struggling to break into the top 5, if not the top 10 in those M4. So again, they're going to have their work out for them today. That car really penalised under the performance issues that it was given at the start of its introduction to GT3 racing. Cliff Bulcke there in 6th, teammate of David Dhoore for Intense Racing. Jack Caminetto down there in 7th after leading at Watkins Glen for some time. Chasing down the lead rather. James Mead was always in the lead, it seemed like there, but Jack really put an effort in there at the end, and it's just unfortunate to come a cropper with one of the back markers. Cost him a lot of time. He currently sits there 7th in the championship. Robert Horvath, again, consistent driving from him down there in 8th. Marvin Mackenberg getting some real pace out of that Bentley in 9th. And you can see Zander Hunzing there, otherwise known as Wacky Teddy. His name has been changed in game, so don't look for Teddy anymore. You will be looking for Zander now, so if you see that, correlate that to Wacky Teddy. And you can see all the other scores there. Great participation all the way through the championship. Some notable absentees this week. Timo Siska, hardware failure for him, he won't be here. And Phil Clark, I can't say the word because it's likely the stream will get taken down, but he's got that disease. So we wish him the very best and hope he gets over that very quickly. Phil, just let you know we're all thinking of you, mate, and hope it doesn't affect you too much. Get well soon, bud. Also, I can't see in the server the team from JJ Racing, that of Peter Nasiba and Ladislav Toth. We did have a conversation during the 2 weeks between Watkins Glen and Kyalami. Let's just put one of the Polish on where we had this conversation. My dad, the Kaiser's going round on pole. There we go. See if you can pick up any tips from him. So yeah, Nasiba and Toth were a little bit apprehensive about taking part in the series because of the pace of the front runners, and they felt they were being a bit more of a hindrance. And this is a general comment if you're watching this, nothing to do with GT3 Masters or anything like that, but if you are on a server where you feel like you are going slower than the drivers up front and causing them a bit of stress getting them around you, well, do you know what, guys, that's their problem. As long as you're driving safely and as long as you're driving within the rules and driving to whatever the stewards have decided the blue flag rules are, as long as you're sticking to them, whether you hold those guys up or not, that is not your problem. And that goes for all, not just all online motorsport, I think motorsport in general, to be fair. Don't be scared out of a server because the guys around you are quicker. Otherwise, I'm not going to say you're never going to have fun, but you know, you have a lot of fun racing with guys of your skill and ability. However, you're never going to get better if you're always racing those guys. Sometimes chasing some of the fast guys and staying ahead of them, you'll notice you'll, without even knowing, your lap times get half a second to a second quicker just because of the adrenaline you get out of having that around you. Sometimes it's scary, but once you get over the fact it's scary, it's actually pretty good for you. So don't be scared off by the quick boys. But unfortunately, Nasiba and Toth not in the server tonight. So currently we have 38 people traipsing around on track. Only 1, 2, 3 of them in the pit, so 35 cars on track. Why it's so busy. You're looking at Cliff Bulcke, currently sat P3. And we've got a little bit of time. We've got 14 minutes left in qualifying. Let's just take a look at the team championships. There's only one team championship, and there it is. So as I say, Dean WRT up the top there, Deprataire and De Kaiser not having it all their own way, but remember they have dropped one round. That one of De Kaiser last time out. Intense Racing sit there in second. Dhoore and Bulcke on 424, still to drop around. Crew Chief team there, the Mega Corp Works team of the Crew Chief sat there on 282. It's a pretty hot competition for third place. Smooth sailing there, the Bentleys of Mackenberg and Christian Gruert sat there in 4th position. RRL Motorsports, Miguel Santiago Carew, Robert Horvath sat there in 5th. And look at that team, 77th, Ralf Arella and Fillingham. Normally contesting for the honours, but down there in 6th, just showing the pace of that M4. Paradigm shift there, have dropped around. Radek Pavlicek not here for round 1, so they will have a few more games in hand on the guys in front of them, but again with work to do to catch up to that Crew Chief team and the impressive speed of James Mead, who currently, just having a look through the timings, sat there in 18th position. There is James Mead. Let's see if he puts a time in this one round. Ignore that time on the right, that's not James Mead in the little box. The lap time log, I think, is playing up once again. James Mead still going around, perhaps warming tyres up. I don't know if he's on prep laps and stuff, but whatever he's doing, he'll need to do it quickly. So there we go. As I said, that's the team championship there. Special note for Grizzly Racing. In fact, Mead goes off there again, so he's going to go back to the pits. So yeah, effort needed from James Mead here. Grizzly Racing was the mention I was going to make. Those guys, Max Beyer had no luck at all last week at Watkins Glen. Been very quick all series, but literally not having any luck to go with it. So best of luck to Max this afternoon. BB Racing down there as well, 166. TSR fighting out with VSB, 151 from 150. Shreve Motorsport of, excuse me, God, I've got the hiccups tonight. Of Moll & Barrowcroft sat there in 12th. TSR 89 with the SCB team 86. It's all pretty tight further down. So the JJRT Stolamo team, they're the guys, Naziba and Toth, that are not taking part tonight. We'll try and talk them back into coming back for the next race at, I believe it is at Bathurst. So good luck with that. Anyway, that's that. Oh, in fact, actually we have got one more thing to look at, and that is the rather important AM Cup. So these are the drivers that through various calculations are deemed to be part of the AM Championships. Those are drivers not fighting out at the top. You can see this is a really hard fought competition, scored with the points taken in the race. So it's not scored differently. Points are scored in the championship. You can see there Barrowclough up there with 102, being consistent performer, Jody Barrowclough in the M4. Mark Bosman had a little bit of unfortune, bad luck. A little bit of bad luck did Mark Bosman. Tommy Coaston, so in fact I think all of these guys have got some story to tell. All been involved in some sort of mishap along the way, but really tightly fought out. Andre Bergsma there in the AM League, I'm not quite sure about that one, but yeah, he's set there in 4th. You heard him last time in the chat after the race, saying he's getting back into getting into ACC, but a fast driver doesn't go far, depending on what sim they're using. So Bergsman absolutely nail pretty much every race room sim challenge we had, so don't expect him to be too far off it get your words out. He'll be quick at some point, is what I'm trying to say. But even Mole Lansley, Seven Lansley down there in 7th, he's had a few stories as well. So yep, that's the AM Cup, all to fight for as we come to halfway through, well, almost halfway through the season. Right, qualifying, let's do that. 10 minutes or 9 minutes to go now. Mark Overpole, what sim is this? This is Assetto Corsa Competizione. Good to see you in chat, by the way. Oh, there's the sausage. In fact, let's go around for it. Let's try and find somebody who's going out on a lap. Max is just starting. Let's try somebody who's coming to the end of the lap. Jim Britton's coming to the end, so we'll just jump on his car if he goes around for another one. Here we go. He's going round the final corner. And along the start finish straight he goes, pits on the left there. Literally full throttle all the way down to about 110 metres. I tried 100. You can't get it stopped quick enough there unless your right foot's a bit strong. In fact, Jim brakes at about 80, so perhaps that's where the time's going in the M4. Slides it round turn 1, bring it over to the left for turn 2, kick the curb, and then a nice wide sweeping apex. Just see if you can nudge this one wide there, and then all the way down. Move yourself over to the left hand side of the track, get on the curbs to give you as much room as you can around the apex here. It goes round and round and round. Long sweeping corner, get on the gas as early as you can, down, brake about the curb in here, late apex onto the inside curb, let it roll out but not too far. You'll lose time over there, and a lovely little sweep in at Leslie's section here. Bite the curb on the left, Jim just missed it there, bite the curb on the right, and then power all the way up the hill to what looks like a hairpin. It opens up on the exit, so brake hard, get it turned, and then get on the gas as soon as you can as it opens up, and down the hill you go the other side. Go under the sanction and then grab that curb on the left hand side where the concrete is, and then bring it to a pretty much halt. You take this right hander over the curbs and it swing out. There's no track limits over on the left hand side there, and then the worst corner on the course. Don't touch that sausage on the left, you'll end up in the wall. And going for an early drink, and then brake as late as you can. Make sure you can get on the gas round the apex there. And Jim's on it, goes over the line. Britton improves there with a 1:41.4. In fact, you've got no times, have you? Let's put some times up. There we go. So you can see where we are. So currently Deprataire leads from Cliff Bulcke in the Aston Martin in second, as Jim makes a rather impressive slide there. Let's watch Yves Van Sond in the M4. So yeah, Deprataire from Bulcke. The cars are in third. David Dhoore up there in fourth. Mead not far behind. James Mead did put a representative lap in, so he's now fifth. Christian Groet sixth. Max Beyer there in seventh. Pavlicek eighth, ahead of his teammate Camaretto in ninth. Mackenberg 10th. Jim Britton 11th, Yves Van Sond here in 12th. Those guys all within a second of that top time of a 1:40.1. Can they get into the alien territory of 1:39 point something? We'll wait and see. But even so, in fact, that time's just changed, hasn't it? Because suddenly not all within a second. So Deprataire puts in the 1:40.1 miracle time, and suddenly only the top 7 are within a second. As Yves Van Sond goes back to the pits. We've already seen James Mead, but he's on a quick one. Currently a 10th up. Should jump him up to 4th if he can keep it up. Oh, just dipped a tyre in the dirt there and there. He's carried to carry the speed. He hasn't dropped much there. He's still about a 10th. If he can keep this up through the final corner, this should be an improvement. Mead cross the line, does go 4th, ahead of David Dhoore. So good lap there from James Mead. Not many people on quick times. Marvin Mackenberg is half a second up. This is going to push him up the league. Should push him about 6th or 5th maybe. Goes 6th Mackenberg. Nice time up into the 140s. 140.957 for Mackenberg. So nice time for him. James Mead was a 10th up, but as I said it, that time's gone. Who else further down the field's got a time coming in? Let's have a look. Benucci, he was quick in practice. When the camera catches up with him, there he is. Currently a second up on a 1:43.5, so at 1:42 something. We'll put him somewhere around Bergsma there in 27th if he can keep it together through the final corner in the gleaming pink TSR McLaren. Still got that second 1.1. This should drag him up a little bit. It does indeed. Puts him ahead of Bergsma in 27th. Benucci, nice lap for him. Just 2.3 off that alien pace set up front by Deprataire, but I say just 2.3 seconds off that and down in 27th. So you can see I'm going to eat in for another crackingly close race tonight. Who else is on a quick one? Let's have a look. Cliff Bulcke, he's got a 10th as he goes through it all. That might be deleted there, Cliff, and that 10th has, well, it went, but he's got it back through that corner. He's got a slower car ahead there of Nicholas Wicklander. Wicklander gets out the way, his lap's over. And Bulcke loses no time there, still a second up. Sorry, a second up, he wishes, a 10th up. James Mead 2.5 tenths up on his lap, but he's only 30 seconds into it, so we'll see how that goes. In fact, there's quite a few little green times popping up. Camaretto 2 tenths up, as his teammate Pavlicek, just behind Cliff Bulcke on track. And you'll see him in the background as Bulcke comes through. Unfortunately, Cliff Bulcke has lost that 10th and a 10th more, so this will be a slower time. Indeed, he comes into the pits. Camaretto's lost time, as has Pavlicek. In fact, no, Pavlicek still about a 10th up. It won't help him much. It might jump ahead of Arella. It doesn't. In fact, same time as Ralf Arella, 141.177. Arella stuck it in there first, so keeps the position over Pavlicek, but that's how close we are. David Dhoore is a fraction up, and to be fair, it's only a fraction he needs to get ahead of Cliff Bulcke. Didn't take many chances with the curb there. Could have got a little bit closer. Listen to me telling where David Dhoore had to drive. This will improve him slightly, but unfortunately not enough. So Dhoore stays third. So Deprataire, Bulcke, Dhoore with a minute left on track. Who's green? Radek Pavlicek 2.5 tenths as he goes up the hill towards the hairpin. He might have had to lose a little bit of time there. In fact, he did. Went wide on the exit of the hairpin. That's cost him 2-3 tenths now as he comes down the hill. Bleeding time all the way down. Just behind him, Robert Horvath. We're going to leave Pavlicek. He won't improve. We'll go back to Robert Horvath. He's 3 tenths up. Takes a little bit more of a risk, and in fact he goes wide there. Rather distinctive sound of the Aston Martin. This is going to give him a decent jump up the field here. He's only 1 tenth up. In fact, oh, he must have lost it around the last corner. Horvath stays 12th and in fact crosses the line with the checkered flag. He's the first to cross. So Robert Horvath's race is done, or his qualifying's done. Santiago Carew, teammate, coming down the hill. Currently a second up. He's Van Son down there in 15th. That's as most he can get out of the M4 from him. Let's see Cy Fillingham in there. Oh, he's down there in 18th is Cy Fillingham. And he's done. So that's Cy Fillingham's lot. Santiago Carew's just gone into the red and into the pits. He can't improve. Mark Bosman's down there. He's got 3 tenths on this lap. If he can keep it on the track, he can. This should jump him up into around the Tommy Kosonen area. Let's have a look. Bosman crosses the line eventually. He does go 17th, just behind Kosonen. 500ths, in fact, behind him. So that's him done. Who else is on track? Binnersley down there in 23rd. Feel your pain, man, as the BMW wiggles its way through there, round the sausage, down to the final corner. Flashing red, flashing green. Probably won't improve here, and if he does, will it jump him ahead? No, it doesn't. So stays at 23rd. So that's your grid. Bram Deprataire from Cliff Bulcke. David Dhoore in 3rd. James Mead 4th. David Dhoore in 5th. Marvin Mackenberg 6th. Christian Grote 7th. And Max Beyer there in 8th. All those guys within a second of Deprataire out in front. So Team WRT sit there 1 and 3. Intense racing 2 and 5. So those are the guys fighting out Kaiser. Sorry, James Mead down in 4th for the crew chief Megacorp's work team. And where is Clive Britton, crew chief himself? Down there in 13th for the crew chief team. Sponsored by himself. In fact, the whole series is sponsored by crew chief and RRL. With some really fantastic prizes on offer for the drivers. A Moser R9 wheelbase and a wheel of their choice. Well, a contribution to the wheel of their choice. Not going to the winner, just going to a random driver that completes 6 of the 7 races. So that's why these guys are all here, putting the times in. I'm sure that's not the only reason. I'm sure they're here for the fun and games as well. Let's have a quick look in chat. Martijn Kennens is there as always. So good to have Martin along every race to watch it with us. Stefan Mills in chat. Welcome to you, Stefan. Fan of Sam Cockayne. In 26 at the moment. Well, at the moment he will be. JJR and the JJ Racing team as well in chat as always. Good to see you there, Jan. Ladislav Babarak, go, 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 indeed. Have a word with your guys, Peter Nazibra and Ladislav Toth. They've been with us for a while, man. And not racing today. Scared about their pace. I don't need to be scared about their pace, mate. Get them racing with us. Nothing embarrassing here. It's all for fun. So here we go. A minute to the warm-up lap. We've got time to do a little bit of camera work. What do you reckon? Get me a thing back, I might be able to. Here we go. Have a look at some liveries as we go down there. If you don't know them already, the Intense Racing boys there. There's the gold McLaren there of James Mead. Oh, this is going to start jerking around in a minute, isn't it? Oh, no, we don't want that, do we? We want... It's difficult to see when I've got the thing on. There it is. Visible, thank you. There we go, right. So they'll be pulling off shortly. We'll just go down the grid. David Dhoore there on the right. Marvin Mackenberg left in the Bentley alongside Christian Groert. There's Max Beyer in the Grizzly Nissan. Set there of Camaletto and Pavlicek in line astern. Through goes through Arella. And there they all go. Pick out your man. As they all pull away for the warm-up lap. Two TSR McLaren's there, line astern. Two Bentleys there of Walt Graves and Nick Campbell. Oh, we don't want to do that, do we? Hang on. Let's get that view before I make you all sick. So just going around on their warm-up lap now. Pick out Deprataire. He's got that big McLaren's logo on the front. Oh my god. Take it all back, Joe. David Croft, you're not as bad as I thought you were. Yes, Deprataire has the McDonald's logo on the front of his car, De Kaiser. Okay, let's have a look at Bram. You can see slightly different livery for De Kaiser there. As I feel concertinas as they supposed to keep a constant speed. Bram doing his bit for that. Guys behind just concertina in slightly. Further down the field, who haven't we mentioned? Special shout out Richard Venema. I did call him Arbanushi last time round, so I'm sure to him there's no worse insult. So my apologies, Richard. As I say, teammate Phil Clark out with the disease, so carrying that Marlborough Honda round, although for some reason he's going very quickly there. Not quite sure what that's all about. Drivers don't need to do this because that's where it screws it all up, so I'm going to jump off Richard before I get anything else. Andre Bergsma eventually up there in the Tic Tac car. You can see Binnersley behind him. Unusual that for Binnersley. You can see Bergsma and Binnersley should be sat behind each other, and because cars have gone out of position, so expect a couple of drive-throughs here as they try and work out where they are position-wise. The computer will be telling them one thing when they know it should be something else. And you can see Richard Venema right up there. So we'll say, anyway, enough of that. Race is about to start. Wait for the green lights. You can see him just at the top of your screen there. Engine start, and it's go, go, go. Bulcke defends from De Keyser. De Keyser still going down the inside. Little nudge there, upset both of the cars. Going around the corner. James Mead on. Oh, Cliff Bulcke. No, that's David Dhoore further back there. And we've got a big accident. I think that is a red flag. Definitely a red flag. Red flag, red flag. Red flag, red flag. Too many cars at the back there involved in accidents and incidents. And it's still going on, you can see. So the race will be red flagged. When I eventually find out how to do that. So, stuck it in chat. Let's hope we can find something. This might take a little while to restart the server, guys, so just bear with us. See if I can get into it. In fact, they've all gone out of the pre-race briefing, which is never good. And for some reason they're not stopping, so I don't know. I've put it in the chat, it needs to be a red flag, it's not, but everyone's still racing, so there'll be complaints after this, I'm sure, with people saying a red flag was called. I better commentate the race we've got then, I guess. Okay. Yeah, let's do that then. So, Deprataire out in front. Got 2.5 second lead over De Keyser. In fact, he did have. James Mead just managed to get past him through the wiggly bits. So James Mead now up into second on the chase after Deprataire. De Keyser down to third. Max Beyer up to fourth. Jim Britton up to fifth. In fact, this is where the mess is going to start happening, because you can see Jim Britton up to fifth now. Pavlicek and Camaletto sixth and seventh. Arella up to eighth. Ias von Son ninth. Horvath 10th. That's your top 10. People who suffered. Well, let's go and pick those guys out from the back. So Marvin Mackenberg's down there in 31st. Zonderhunzig down there in 29th. Cliff Bulcke, we saw him spin at turn 1. He's down there in 27th. In fact, dumped at 27th now. Got past Santiago Caru just there. David Dhoore down in 23rd. Barraclough down to 22nd. Paskin up to 18th. Bergsma down to 17th. Binnersley 15th. Fillingham up to 13th. So a few winners and losers in all of that. But it's a long old race to go, so we'll see what happens. But up front, Deprataire has got a 3.5 second lead already over James Mead. There's the gap you can see. Just 3 laps, 3 laps in. Deprataire, Mead, De Keyser, Beyer, Britton. Pavlicek, Camaletto, Arella in the M4 up there into 8th. These ones on 9th. In fact, there's a bit of a queue gathering behind Pavlicek. And the cameraman catches up with it. So there's Pavlicek, teammate Camaletto just behind him, and then you can see all those cars together. And what we'll do is go on board with Tommy Coaston so you can see exactly what he's seeing. It's a bit further back, that camera, isn't it? So it does give you an idea exactly what he can see. It's a bit easier, isn't it? Let's try that camera. So in front of him is Christian Groot. Horvath in front of him, Von Sand, Arella, Camaletto and Pavlicek. There's the train, all going up to T1. All through there, sweep through 2. Up through the kink. Around turn 4 here. Kick up the dirt, they're all pretty much on it here. These guys covered by 2 seconds all the way down from what will be 6th down to 12th. A bit of a gap then of 1.8 back to Fillingham in 13th, Benazzi 14th, Manojlovic 15th. Big gap then back to Paskin. I say big gap, it's only 3.5 seconds, but Paskin 3.5 seconds behind Manojlovic. Sam Cocaine there in 17th, Lansdy 18th, Barak Kunt there in 19th. From Baraclough Dhoore, Pavel Bogdan up to 22nd. Good on you, Pavel, well done, mate. In fact, just been passed by Cliff Bulcke. Zander Hunzig, Santiago Carew, Mackenberg 26, he's going to be spitting feathers. Wicklander, Dennis, Graves, Bosman, Babarak, Mole, Bergsma. It's just got passed by Nick Campbell. In fact, Bergsma slipping down there, must have made an error. Oh, that's not a nice look. And you can see that car of Andre Bergsma not healthy at all. So Bergsma struggling round to come back to the pits. That's behind him, Magyar and Richard Venema also damaged. It has been into the pit, so Venema has made a stop for damage. Obviously suffered heavily in those incident-filled first laps. Excuse me, I'll just do some admin. Right, where are we? Let's go back and watch some racing, shall we? Camaletto has got past teammate Pavlicek. He's up to 5th now. There's Pavlicek just behind him with that green front wing, you'll notice, or the turquoise front wing. That's how you can pick those two out. So Camaletto from Pavlicek behind him, and there's the train behind them. Arella, Von Sand, Horvath, Groot and Coaston all part of this chase. Through the final corner, sun streaming through the trees. It starts to fall here. 5:15 in game time in the afternoon, so the track stays pretty warm here at Kyalami into the evening, so I don't expect much to change from a temperature point of view. No rain forecast for today, so we'll just get longer shadows as we go into the evening. Deprataire now 4 seconds ahead of Mead. Max Beyer's 3rd. In fact, we've lost De Keyser. Where's De Keyser disappeared to? 12th. Has there been an incident? Where is Amadeo De Keyser in 12th? There he is. Car number 33. No incident showing. I wonder if he's just been a victim of... We've got a replay between him was 76. Let's just have a look at that one. In fact, this is on his way back through the field, so already down the field at this point is David Dhoore. So that's happened before that. Ralf Arella having a little coming together there, but nothing to write home about. They try and make their way through the field, but it looks like Dhoore has gone off all by himself. In fact, James Mead now got a yellow flag. Yep, he's done the same. He's hit that curb, and James Mead now finds himself into the pits for his stop, which I'm sure he didn't want to do, but he's in, and you can see that car's all over the place as he tries to get it down there. So damage to James Mead's car. It's going to push him right down. And I said Max Beyer needed some luck. Well, he's having it today. Currently sitting second now, following Dhoore and Mead's incidents. So Deprataire leads Beyer by 10 seconds. Britton now up to third. Camaletto and Pavlicek up to fourth and fifth. Arella 6th. Von Son 7th. Horvath 8th. Christian Groot there in 9th. Kosonen 10th. Dhoore, Binnersley, Manojlovic, Fillingham, Paskin, Lansley, Kunt, Cliff Bulcke now up to 18th, make his way back through the field along with his teammate David Dhoore in 19th. Jody Barraclough's 20th with Bogdan, Sander Hunzig, Sam Cocaine, Marvin Mackenberg, Santiago Carew, Wicklander, Dennis, Bosman, Graves, Babarak, Campbell, Mole, Nushi, Magyar, Mead in the pits. Richard Venema at the back there, and also we saw Bergsma at the back as well. And he's been in, made a stop and come out away. So let's try and find a battle. Beyer and Jim Britton now carrying the torch for the crew chief team following James Mead's accident. Looks like I'll have a bit of explaining to do after the race with the red flag, but there we go. Looks like no one really stopped racing. If they did, and you're watching this, my sincere apologies. I thought we'd call a red flag there, but it continues. Max Beyer and Jim Britton. This is the battle for second. Deprataire away up front by some distance after just 7 laps, or 6.5. Nissan absolutely huge, but Max Beyer chucking it around like it's nothing. Good news for Grizzly Racing. This Max Beyer in second. Jim Britton there in third. The gap to Camaletto behind, just under 4 seconds. Second that back to Pavlicek in fifth. Then it's Arella and Von Sand in close proximity. Gap to Horvath, Kosonen has dropped off as well. Dhoore up now to 11th on a recovery drive. Benazzi 5 seconds behind him in 12th. Then Manojlovic, Fillingham, Paskin and Bulcke. And Cliff Bulcke making his way through past Lansley as well on his recovery drive. David Dhoore still trying. Obviously Dhoore had a bit more damage. He made that first incident in the first corner. That's where that was. I don't know if you've got a picture of that. Let's see if we can find that first corner incident while the race is shaping up a bit. David Dhoore, car number 17. Let's have a look. So Dhore's in the middle there. Does he get tagged from behind? Not quite sure. Who's car 108? That's Mackenberg, isn't it? Who was just behind him. Let's kind of have a look at it from Mackenberg's point of view. So Mackenberg's on the outside. Oh, I'm not going to see it, unfortunately. I'm too far down. That's a shame. But there is one further down. Let's have a look, see if we can find there's a bigger contact further through the field. So again, this will be with Mackenberg on the outside, but we'll probably hopefully see a little bit more of what happened at T1. No, we won't. Okay, ignore that. We tried. Mackenberg, anyway, didn't come out of it very well. And he's currently sat down there in 24th, surrounded by cars. Baraclough, Hunzig, Pogdan, Santiago Carew, Mackenberg, and Sam Cockayne just behind him. That's this battle. That's for 20th as they all pile down the hill. That's Baraclough in the front of all that lot. And there is Jody Baraclough. And that's... Hello? Thank you. That's the view from his rear wing as it all... In fact, you can see just behind him Santiago Carew getting past. Drifts wide there as he'll try and take the inside line. Let's get a helicam view. That might be a better look. So Sander Hunzig, Wacky Teddy, gets through there and ahead of Baraclough. Santiago Carew pulls out into the inside of Baraclough. Oh, little nudge there between the two of them. That's cost... Well, it cost the Bentley of Marvin Mackenberg, that's for sure. Also cost Jody Baraclough as well. Meanwhile, following them through, Pavel Bogdan just sat there, followed Santiago Carew through. The Ferrari, sorry, the Ferrari chasing through the Aston Martin. Everyone round them decided what they were going to do. And that's that. So Jody Baraclough lost about 5 places there in about 6 corners, and currently sits down there in 23rd. Sam Cockayne just behind him in the Golf McLaren. And Marvin Mackenberg, who's had little to no luck at all, chases the 2 behind them, and they're in 25th. Meanwhile, up front, well, further up front, that's Arella. That's Yves von Song behind him. Christian Groot, Mackenberg's teammate, just behind Yves von Song. And then Horvath actually getting past De Kaiser there. Should I go on board with De Kaiser? Because it looks like it could get interesting. Horvath there on the inside as they go up to T5 rather. Around the outside, Horvath's got the inside there. This is on board. Amadeo De Kaiser down there in 10th, was sitting 3rd earlier, behind Mead and Deprataire. He came off a little bit less worse than James Mead, who looks like he trashed his car in separate incidents. Mead right down the field. And De Kaiser goes very deep there at the hairpin. That's cost him a little bit of time as well. So De Kaiser struggling in this part of the race. Just 19 minutes gone. Deprataire leads Beyer from Britton, Camaletto, Pavlicek, Arella, von Song, Groot, Horvath, De Kaiser, Kosonen, Binnersley, Manojlovic, Bulcke, Fillingham, Paskin, Lansley, Kunt, David Dhoore down there in 19th, Sander Hunzig, Santiago Carew, Bogdan, Cockayne, Wicklander, Dennis, Mark Bosman, Norway, Nick Campbell, Dusan Magyar in 28th, Babarek there in 29th, Walt Graves up to 39th, going Walt, Arben Nushi in 31st, Andre Mole 32, Baraclough all the way down now to 33rd. I presume he's coming for a stop. Mackenberg 34th, I presume he's also been in for a stop. Venema, James Mead down there in 36th, and Andre Bergsma 37th. That's a real dent in James Mead's title challenge as Robert Horvath goes very wide there at turn 4. just behind them in the red Ferrari, that's Tommy Coaston. He's got Rick Binnersley chasing him. Right, championship leader Bram Deprataire out there, previous championship leader David Dhoore, chasing down Robert Horvath. As the shadows begin to lengthen, literally throws that round the final corner as the guys, and that's got him right on the back of Horvath. Back on board. Horvath goes inside, Deprataire goes outside. Sorry, De Keyser goes outside, not Deprataire. Horvath gets the inside line out and manages to take it through there. A compromised line though, which will slow them both down really. Although in front, Pavlicek is dropping back a little bit. Down now to 8th position is Pavlicek. Has he been involved in something? So many incidents to look through here, but no. Just on his own. So easy to make a mistake here and lose a couple of seconds though. And with the pace of the guys around them, they'll get gobbled up if they lose a couple of seconds. So Horvath putting that car exactly in the right place to make it impossible to get past, and stays ahead of De Keyser as they come down the hill. And a fast left-hander. You can see rather the battle up front, in front of these guys, with Arella, Von Sond and Christian Groot. They're just going through the bottom of your screen now, as I've still got hiccups. Battles further down the field. Borat, Kunt, Lansley and Fillingham. I don't know if they've just had an incident, but Fillingham just dropped down 3 places there. In fact, he's in the pits. That's probably why. Has he had an incident in front of that BMW? Looks a little bit worse for wear. So I wonder if that's an incident at the sausage curb. Well placed on the second last corner, because you can just dive in the pits if you make a mistake there. We're back with the Pavlicek, Horvath, De Keyser battle. Arella, Von Sond and Groot having the same one just ahead of them. There they are, there's those 3. And there's these 3. Up front though, Deprataire leads 14.7 now over Max Beyer in second. In that Grizzly Racing Nissan in third, Jim Britton for the crew chief Megacorp Works team. 4 seconds behind Max Beyer. Camaletto sits there in fourth. Another, again, consistent performance from Camaletto. 1.3 behind Britton. And then you get into these battles. Arella, Von Sond and Groot 6.6 seconds behind Camaletto. As Pavlicek goes away. In fact, you just saw in front, Christian Groot went even wider and appeared on track from Alpha Centauri. And has now made this into a 4-way battle as Arella and Von Sond go. So that's Christian Groot, that's Pavlicek. Horvath getting caught on the outside here. That's going to give De Keyser a run at Pavlicek, is it? Pavlicek's got the inside for 5 as they come down. Yeah, the Kaiser deciding can't make that work. So although positions change in front of him, there the Kaiser still sits there in 10th. Coasting, you can just see behind there in 11th in the Ferrari, trying to make this a 5-way battle. As these four try and make it a 7-way battle with the guys in front. All happening in the top 10. Outside the top 4 anyway. Arella, Von Song, Groot, Horvath, Pavlicek, De Kaiser and Kosonen. All with good chances here still. We've seen it from De Kaiser, we've seen it from James Mead, how easy it is to trash the car and lose a good 10-15 seconds, if not more. So she's got to keep doing the laps, doing the times, and being consistent, because that is what will win the race. Well, it certainly won't lose you anyway. So a bit of breathing space, it looks like, for Christian Groot. Robert Horvath. In fact, who's that going off there? Is that Fillingham? No, it's Fillingham in the pink car. No, it's Fillingham. Yes, it was. Sorry, my bad. Ralf Arella in the yellow flashes, of course. Fillingham with the pink accents on his M4. There is Cy Fillingham. That's a good question. Where is Cy Fillingham? Cy Fillingham, 29th currently. 13 seconds behind David Dhoore, who's 19 seconds behind Andre Mol. So there's been some stories, that's for sure. Oh, Pavlicek thumping Horvath up the jacksie. And that's allowed De Kaiser through and away. Pavlicek moves back over to give Horvath the place back. And all of a sudden, Tommy Kosonen says, "Oh, hello." And this isn't going to work 3 wide through here, let me tell you. You're lucky if you can get 2 through, but they're going to try. And they manage it. Kosonen backing out of that one wisely, I think, there. So finally De Kaiser gets some places. So Robert Horvath there, goes wide, gets a drive through, track limits already. Robert Horvath suffering. Shame for Horvath, but that's going to add him to the list of hard luck stories. Looks like we've lost Sanyo Alpha. 37 drivers left. I can't see Sanyo Alpha's name. So 1 down after all the shenanigans. And you can see behind Kosonen, that's Cliff Bulcke making his way back through the field. As it looks like Robert Horvath has... Oh! Horvath and Kosonen come together. It's all happening. Robert Horvath, Tommy Kosonen. Let's have a look. I think we've still got that one on the replay, have we? Yep, let's have a look and see what happened. So Horvath comes back on track. Looks like collects Kosonen there. So Horvath continues, Kosonen behind him. Horvath with his drive through, don't forget. So all of a sudden within 1 lap things not going very well for Robert Horvath. Hunted by Pavlicek. Drive through at the final corner. Runs wide and him and Tommy Kosonen come together, and then goes Horvath through for his drive through. Meanwhile, Von Sond, Arella and Christian Groot, 5th, 6th and 7th, having a slightly more controlled 3-way. Christian Groot got back onto the back of Arella fairly quickly there. Bentley obviously having a bit more pace in the M4s. Well, it could just be Christian's immense pace, of course. That's what it is. Sorry, Christian. That was very disrespectful of me. But whatever it is, he's right behind Ralf Arella. Further back in the field. Alright, Kuntz having a private little battle with Ian Paskin. Ian on the cocodamol today. Very poorly armed. And you don't really want that with force feedback and Kyalami. It could be worse, I suppose, but not much. Kyalami's got about as many elevation changes and corners as the worst of them. A couple of fast corners as well, which you can hang on to the steering wheel for. With one hand, that's always good. Always bad if you have an accident, though. That's right there in 14th, Paskin behind him in 15th. I felt like the field, Camaletto's managed to climb onto the back of Jim Britton. There is Jim Britton, there is Jack Camaletto. The yellow car behind him, I'm presuming that's David Dhoore recovering, but lapped. Don't forget, Dhoore has stopped, so they might be right back in the field, and he is right back in the field in 27th. He has stopped, so he will make up some time if he doesn't need to come in again, but whether that's likely or not, whether he can go the rest of the race, which is possible on the tyres, but fuel may be a different thing for when he came in. He would have filled it to the top, but I think you need to do at least 20 minutes before you can refill a tank to get an hour and a bit out of it. But we'll see. Long way to go, just under an hour to go. Let's see if I can get rid of these hiccups. I'll let you go on board with Camaletto. I just turn my volume down and we'll turn up the volume audio up. We're back. There's David Dhoore behind them. It's the battle for third, don't forget. Deprataire out and away, 18 seconds now ahead of the Grizzly Racing Nissan of Max Beyer. This battle for third between Britton and Camaletto. There's a gap then of 8.5 seconds then. That's Yves von Sonder, Arella and Christian Groh. In fact, Amida de Kaiser's now made that a four-way battle back there. But they just come around the final corner. And they go 1, 2, 3, 4 in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. The cars are currently sitting about 35 seconds off the lead. James Mead sitting about 2 minutes off the lead, unfortunately, down there in 32nd. Trying to make his way up through the field. The gaps down there are very big though. Nick Wicklander and Matt Bosman are having their own little battle. Wicklander's Ferrari, nice to see Nick Wicklander doing well here. Good friend, hard racer. Spent many times on track with him. And good to see him having a decent race today. The leader there, Deprataire, comes through the blue flag. So that's where Bram is on track. As he passes 21st now. Lap cars up to 21st, Nick Wicklander. Next up for Deprataire will be Pavel Bogdan in 20th. Good to see Pavel having a decent race tonight as well. Meanwhile, Arella, Christian Groot, Emmanuel de Kaiser. Doesn't seem that long since Deprataire went round that corner, does it? But I can assure you it was about 20 seconds ago. In fact, it's probably about 30 seconds ago. Max Beyer 20 seconds behind Deprataire, and these guys are about 10 seconds at least behind Beyer. So yeah, over 30 seconds gap. So that's Von Sond behind him, Arella, Groot and de Kaiser. In fact, de Kaiser ahead now of Christian Groot there. So de Kaiser up to 7th, chasing down Ralf Arella. Feeling Ralf will have to defend for his life here. Something that he's well used to. As I said at the start of the stream, I don't mind saying it again, 8-time champion here at RR Leagues. He hasn't suddenly lost pace. That gives you an idea of the ability of that M4. Bulcke, I'll say up to 9th now, chasing down Christian Groot. Pavlicek 10th, Tommy Coaston 11th. Robert Horvath, we saw it serve his drive through. Let's put him all the way down. Where has that put him down to? Where's Robert Horvath turned up? 15th, there he is. Just seen him. Horvath on the way back as Deprataire moves ahead of Arella. Really not much defence for Ralf in that BMW against the R8 there. De Kaiser just sat with him, speed, pulled out and through he went. Now Arella's got to hold Christian Groot back as well. So de Kaiser continues his recovery after his unseen incident, which we presume was at the penultimate corner where most incidents are. You can see blue flags waving there for the Bentley of either Nick Campbell or Walt Graves. As Von Sond, de Kaiser, Arella and Groot make their way through. Not the greatest part of the track to catch a back marker, unfortunately, but them's the brakes. Oh, them's are the brakes as the Bentley reshapes the inside barrier, and that's enabled de Kaiser to get past Von Sond as well. So de Kaiser now up to 4th Bonson 5th, Arella 6th, Christian Grote 7th. So everything's changed. Camaletto in the pits. They're in 12th and dropping down the field as he's in, sat there. We haven't spoken much about Deprataire out in front, but that's what happens when you're 21 seconds ahead, unfortunately, Bram. Faultless drive from Deprataire tonight. Didn't have it all his own way at Watkins Glen, that's for sure. But it certainly appears that tonight things are going his way again. And more hiccups have come back. That's just great, isn't it? Canberra, the suspension all set up to take that corner with as much speed as he's got. Not drift out too wide. So Deprataire goes over. Completes 23 laps on to lap 24. Leads Max Beyer by 21.5 seconds. Jim Britton 3rd. De Keyser 4th now after Camaletto's pit stop. Bonson 5th. Arella 6th. Christian Grote 7th. Cliff Bulcke 3 seconds off the back of Christian Grote in 8th. Followed by Pavlicek, Kosten and Binnersley. Manojlovic, Bratkunt, Robert Horvath, Ian Paskin, Sev Lansley up to 16th, Santiago Carew on the back of him. Let's go have a look at that battle. Lansley in the sister Nissan to Max Beyer, and Santiago Carew in the sister Aston Martin to Robert Horvath. Probably the brother Aston Martin, they're always called sisters. And the brother Aston Martin. And there goes Lansley into the pits for his stop. Remember, they have to make a stop tonight, whether it be for fuel or fuel and tyres. In they come. Lansley in. There's no really other close battles currently on the field, apart from the Arella Grote and soon to be Bulcke. Manojlovic also into the pits. Jim Britton has stopped. He's ahead of Camaletto, but we'll see how that shakes out. I don't have a number when Britton stopped. In fact, him and Camaletto have just swapped places. So Camaletto, the leader of the guys that have stopped ahead of Britton, Lansley, Manojlovic. You can see David Dhoore there, not a mile away off the back of Camaletto, but far enough for it to hurt, that's for sure. And there's a 16-second gap actually between Lansley and Cocaine there, so maybe it's a bit more than I thought it was. Christian Grote, Rick Binnersley also in the pits now. It was Deprataire had an incident. He has. Wow, I told you, didn't I? I know he stopped. Whew. I just seen the green marker. Take a breath, Martin, take a breath. So, Deprataire's been in, made his stop, he's come out just ahead of Tommy Kosten. Nice driving there from the TSR McLaren. Some through. The two TSR McLarens there. Behind the stern behind. Nushi and Hunzig. Arbon and Wacky Teddy. Not necessarily in that order though, guys. Should we say what order it's in? Let's have a look. Wacky Teddy is indeed ahead of Arbon Nushi, so there you go. All is right with the world. Sorry, Arbon. So, where have we got a battle? Bratkunt and Robert Horvath, and the cameraman catches up with it. Barak's just got past Robert Horvath by the looks of it. As Horvath tries to recover after his drive-through earlier in the race. And this time, Barak's into the pits for his stop. Monsond also in, Cliff Bulcke also in. So we're right into the window now. Meanwhile, Tommy Kosonen still going round behind what will shake out to be the leader, Bram Deprataire, when the pit stops are done. And this Max Beyer now currently leads by 13 seconds to David Dhoore in second, Arella third, Pavlicek fourth. We'll just see how all the pit stops shape up when they're all over and done. Camaletto's come out ahead of Yves Van Sond. Jim Britton, Cliff Bulcke also in close attendance as well. Christian Groet didn't have a great stop. He's down there in 12th now, 10 seconds behind Cliff Bulcke. You do wonder if Clip's got to stop again. Santiago Carew, stop and go for him. Speeding in the pit lane. Unfortunately, Santiago for Miguel. That won't help his fight at all. Kosonen also comes in for his stop. There's Manojlovic. We haven't spoken much about Nemanja this series. In his Skechers R8. Nick Whitlander behind him in the Ferrari. Down there 17th and 18th respectively. Two staff members also having a good battle. Ruud Dennis in that lovely liveried Nissan GTR, and on a recovery mission David Dhoore there, now up to 20th. Ruud yet to stop though. David maybe has to stop again, we'll see. So a bit of pride at stake here for Ruud and David. I don't think Ruud would mind me saying David the quicker of the two drivers, but Ruud will do all he can to hold this position. In fact, team orders there. Ruud realises that David's not his race, but let's Mr. Dhoore off with slightly easier there. Trust me, David, when I'm on track, if you come up on me like that, that's not happening, staff member or not. So Ruud down to 19th, David Dhoore up to 18th. There's the sun really setting out. You can see the gorgeous colours across this South African, what could you call it? It's like on a plateau. If you ever look on Google Maps, or if you get into Google Earth, have a look at Kyalami. The circuit's changed quite a bit over the years. But it now sits on this this piece of land that's kind of locked with regards to where it can go. I mean, it works great now because the track is what it is, and it's pretty much perfect. But you know, over the years, it's changed its layouts quite considerably. Which Ruud takes a rather rude line there. Let's have a look further up front. Where have we got a battle? Wow, Jim Britton. In that rather, well, it was gold, looked green for a minute. It's got like a proper paint on it, hasn't it? But it's got the Kaiser right behind him. Just 3 seconds up the road, Camaletto in third. Max Beyer still circulating in the lead, yet to stop, 25.5 seconds in front of Deprataire. don't think you can risk a fuel-only stop here. But will Max do it? Has he got too much to lose? Remember, Bram was leading it by some 20 seconds prior to the pit stop phase, so if Max just comes in and takes fuel and not tyres, that Nissan will be a pig for the rest of the race, no doubt about it, but it can do 90 minutes on a set of tyres, so I'll have to see. Just 40 minutes to go. Good to see you all in chat still and enjoying the race. Thanks for being along with us. So Max Beyer leads by, say, 26 seconds as Jim gets a bit of his wiggle on there. The cars are watching from behind, wondering if that R8's going to snap. It didn't, but now Deprataire. That's not Deprataire. That is Deprataire. It's the cars you wanted to go to, doesn't it? Sorry, wrong WRT car. My apologies. Kayser nails the apex there. Jim not so much, but keeps the position anyway and doesn't lose any time there. Through what is one of the nicest but challenging corners on the circuit, I find that one. Along to the horrible corner on the track, apart from the sausage. I think one of the main things of the BMW is the way the gears are set in that car is you're changing gear right in the middle of the corner. You can't, it'll over rev if you change down before the corner, so you have to carry fourth gear into the corner. But to get any torque out of the car at all as you push through, you have to drop down to third, and kind of unsettles the car through the corner. That's what I've found anyway. Sometimes I've let it go in fourth and tried to kick the rear out with the brake pedal just slightly, just to get your car straightened up and pointing more to the right as you go through that corner. But it's just the way the gear ratios are, and the BM doesn't help you at all through there, and I think I'll say that's at least half a second of time you lose through that. Oh, Jim Britton gets it all wrong. Did he survive? He did. Whew. So easy to do, and Jim did it, and he's lost the place to the guys. So the guys up to fourth, Britton down to fifth. You can see in the background there is Von Sond, and just behind him Cliff Bulcke in the Bulcke in the distance. But out in front, the Nissan of Max Beyer has got all that traffic in front of him. He's made his way through some of it already. Will this be his time to stop? No. Goes through to complete another lap. The fuel tank in the Nissan. As big as you might... No, don't say that, Martin. Pretty wide and pretty large. And still, Max Beyer continues. Other person not to stop in the top 20. Nick Wicklander, and indeed Rude Dennis, who just is in the top 20 as well. Only 3 yet to stop. Everyone else has made their stops as cars got everywhere in front of Max. He's got his work cut out of here getting through this lot, hasn't he? And teammate Sev Lanzi in front of them as well. Max losing a lot of time behind this lot. Blue flags waving, but they all raced themselves. This is not good. I do think maybe Max should have dived in the pits last time round, because this lot JJ car there on the inside, presumably Babarak, and you can see not only are they not obeying the blue flags, they're racing for position as well, those guys. Manojlovic does actually let them through. Nice drive in the Mania. And that's allowed Santiago Carew to go piling into the side of Max. Does he? No, gets it back just in time. Or is that Horvath? I don't know. It's a swashbuckling drive, whoever it is. I've got a feeling it might be Robert Horvath. In fact, Horvath and Manojlovic are in that battle. So it could be either of them. But still, Max Beyer continues in the lead. Marshall's frantically waving blue flags, but to no avail. Britton in front of him obviously thinks he's got the pace to go with Max, but that's not the rules. Blue flag, get out of the way, let the leader through. You can see why drivers do get frustrated with blue flags, because Max losing so much time. He's lost 4 seconds. In fact, he's lost 6 seconds to Deprataire in the last couple of laps, solely down to traffic. Yeah, guys, there's the blue flags. Behind these, Deprataire, Camaletto, De Kaiser, Britton, Von Sond and Bulcke right behind Jim Britton now. And this time Max Beyer's had enough. He realises that obviously Bulcke is colourblind, can't see blue, and comes into the pits for his stop. So Max Beyer is going to be in. Will he come out ahead of Camaletto? He should do, but we'll see. Meanwhile, this is the battle for 5th. Britton, Von Sond, Cliff Bulcke. Arella and Gruert behind these two. These three, rather. There's 4 lights. Have to check rounds out your top 10. So I'm 4 seconds behind Christian Groth. And it's Coaston and Binnersley, Sev Lansley, Barack Kunt. You saw those two fighting. They're still at it. Lansley ahead of Kunt. Milanovic, Horvath and David Dhoore all having a good old battle there as well. In fact, let's go back and have a look at that lot, because there's a lot of cars in not a lot of tarmac. Barack gets past Sev Lansley now. Milanovic, Horvath and Dhoore. Oh, that was a naughty move, and yeah, didn't really leave Barack with much choice there, as Sev Lansley tries the inside, couldn't get it stopped on the dive bomb, and ends up in the gravel at the top of the hill. Meanwhile, that's allowed Dhoore, Horvath and Milanovic through. So frustration from Lansley. Just behind these. That looks like the tic-tac car there of Andre Bergsma. Let's go back to Horvath looking up the inside, and does indeed get it done on Milanovic. Long time races with RRL leagues, these guys. Milanovic trying around the outside as Horvath takes a, well, I would consider a more conventional line through the inside of the apex. Milanovic, Dhoore, couldn't behind him, Horvath ahead. Meanwhile, Jim Britton's pulled out second on Bulcke now, who's managed to get past Yvonne Sond, so 6th and 7th change position. We'll stay with this because I'm sure there'll be some carbon fibre to collect very shortly. As Dhoore goes through, gets nudged by Milanovic back on the way through though, and now goes side by side down the hill. Milanovic has got a better line here, you don't want to go too wide here. David does though, but yeah, it's very difficult, I found, to keep it on that dirty part of the track and get it stopped for that corner. David tried though, but ultimately failed. As in front, Horvath goes wide, behind Britton goes wide. These two continue on. Cliff Bulcke's got the gap down to Jim Britton to under half a second now. So we'll jump to that shortly. In fact, nothing happening there, is it? Let's jump to it now. This is the battle for fifth. Jim Britton, Cliff Bulcke. Bentley ahead, which I presume must be Marvin Mackenberg, trying to recover whatever he can from today's race, down there in 27th currently. Pavel Bogdan comes into the pits for his stop. Wicklander and Ruud Dennis are still going, just half an hour left on the clock. Mackenberg moves over to the left hand side to allow Britton and Bulcke through. Nice driving, Marvin. Always good to call out blue flag driving so you can call out the bad ones as well. It may not have, it may not look like that affected the positions up front between Max Beyer and Bram Deprataire. The gap some 26 seconds now, and it may have only been 20 had that not have had he not been held up there in traffic. But if Bram makes a admittedly rare error, especially rare tonight, he could quite easily lose 20 seconds, and all of a sudden Max is back in it. So every second counts, as it does with all racing, but there's really no excuse for not obeying blue flags, because one day, no matter how good you are or how bad you are, you'll suffer yourself through that, and you'll know how frustrating it is. So 74 wrongs don't make a right, unfortunately. Trust me, I've tried the 73. I can't believe 74 is going to be much different. So still Bulcke struggling to get past Britton here. Aston Martin versus R8. Bulcke looks up the inside. Nothing doing there though. Britton runs wide though on the exit of one, but he'll have the inside for two. Oh, hits the curb. Caught Bulcke. Has Bulcke got away with it? I think he has. Yes, he has. So Britton just caught the curb there of two, threw him sideways into Cliff Bulcke in third. I thought both of them might come off worse for it, but the only person that came off worse really was Jim Britton. Loses the place to Bulcke, but stays 6 seconds ahead of Ralf Arella in 8th. There was some excitement, huh? Speaking of excitement, Camaletto, De Kaiser. Battle for third, this one. Recovery drive for Amadeo, and trying to get as many points as he can. Well, meanwhile, intense racing, struggling. Cliff Bulcke 6th, David Dhoore 15th. Still in that fight with Manojlovic down there. Another consistent race for Camaletto. Havlicek teammate there in 10th. This is going to be good points for Paradigm Shift. Try and keep the action there, but we'll do a quick. You can see paradigm shift 239 there. Won't have to score a huge amount of points more than people to get ahead of like teams like 77. They'll jump today. RRL, they'll should jump today. Smooth sailing. Christian Grote in 9th, and we've seen Mackenberg right down there as well, so we'll jump ahead of smooth sailing. Even the crew chief team, Jim Britton in 7th currently, and we've seen James Mead struggling. Yves Van Son looks like he's had an incident. Let's see if we can find that one. Sorry guys, I just seem to have... Oh wow. Oh wow. It's all going wrong for Yves Van Son by the looks of it. Cliff Bulcke didn't come out of that very well. Where's Cliff Bulcke? Oh, recovering all the way down there. Wow. I saw Yves Van Son had an incident, jumped to it, and whether that's back on the track with Cliff Bulcke, but that's not helped that recovery drive at all. Meanwhile, Arella, Grote, Van Son and Pavlicek find themselves all together on track now. There they are. I'll keep an eye on that Caminetto De Kaiser battle. So I'll keep an eye on it. It's about half a second currently, although De Kaiser's catching him. Let's go back to that one. That's further up the field. And the final corner, on to start finish straight. Caminetto De Kaiser. Oh, I thought that was the final corner. It wasn't at all. My apologies. Dab on the brakes there, you see Caminetto going through that section. So easy to overdrive that section and try and carry more speed through, but the more speed you carry, the more it hurts you through the rest of the complex. You are better off going in there much easier and coming out a lot stronger. Where a lot of these drivers further down the grid will be losing time in that section, although I prefer to them. Most of the guys here know exactly what they're doing. So this time they're going down the start finish straight. De Kaiser, Caminetto goes inside, defends, then moves right. De Kaiser going to have a look at the inside here. Caminetto's going to cut him off. That's nice driving from both of them there. The speed that Caminetto carried through 2 and 3 there was pretty epic. De Kaiser will have the inside here. That's nice driving from both of them. Although, as you can see, slightly better from De Kaiser. Made that pass happen really at turn 1. Caminetto's going to have a look at the inside. The cars are giving him room. That's nice, respectful driving from both of them. But De Kaiser makes his way up into a podium position. P3 for Amadeo. Caminetto drops down to 4th. But I'm sure he'll try and stick with De Kaiser and challenge back for 3rd position. Meanwhile, Arella, Grote, Van Son, Pavlicek. Cliff Bulcke 7 seconds behind this now after that incident earlier. Trying to make his way through the field. Remember, Cliff Bulcke does have a live stream. If you search for Cliff Bulcke as it's spelled, jump onto his YouTube channel either now or after the race, preferably after the race, but be interesting to fast forward to that part of the stream just to see exactly what happened. I'd try a replay, but I never quite give you exactly what happened, did I? I'm sure you'd much rather watch this. It's the battle for 6. Arella, Grote, Van Son, Pavlicek. Britton some 6 seconds up the road in 5th, and then obviously we saw Camletto and Declar, so they're 10 seconds ahead of Jim Britton for 3rd and 4th. Max Beyer 2nd, and he's half a minute behind Bram Deprataire, who has been absolutely superb this race. Done nothing wrong and everything right. Stayed out of all the trouble, and there was a bit at the start. So many incidents. I thought there'd be a red flag, but I've heard from Martin Kennan, one of the stewards, that that red flag rule was dropped at the start of the series following the incident at Kota, just because it's too hard to manage, really. And although I was party to that conversation, completely forgot about it. As Groot goes wide up the hill. I'm just glad I didn't ruin everybody's race with that red flag call. So that's just going to have to be one that you've got to apologise for to me. Don't worry about it, man. I am sorry, but I'm allowed one mistake for all this, right? And it doesn't seem to hurt anybody's race here. I don't think anyone lifted off. They're all carried on driving, as you do, until the service stops. So, fair play. But apologies for the confusion. Anyway, under 20 minutes to go now. These 4 cars currently the closest battle on track, apart from Lansley and Paskin down in 17th and 18th. Yeah, that's a bit closer, isn't it? Paskin look up the outside, up the hill. Goes deep into the hairpin. Can he get it turned quicker and back down the pace down the hill? He's looking around the outside. You can carry some pace around there, but that Nissan of Sev Lansley has got it. Don't go too wide there. Oh, that's what you're in danger of doing. Ian Paskin almost eating kitty litter on the way to early death. Keeps it gathered up though, although I'm sure it was a code move. Oh, that certainly was, as he hits the sausage, manages to recover. And Ian Paskin will, I'm sure, live to fight another day. Meanwhile, let's go back to the Arella Groot von Sond Pavlicek battle. Von Sond there in 8th, ahead of him Christian Groot in 7th. Behind him Pavlicek in 9th. Other stories, David Dhoore did eventually manage to get past Nemanja Manojlovic, and it's 4 seconds to the good on him now, so made that place up. Paskin straight back onto the back of Sev Lansley. Let's just watch these lot go down the start-finish straight, and we're going to have a look at that battle. Nick Wicklander and Marvin Mackenberg going at it as well, 23rd and 24th. They're all through there and away, so Lansley and Paskin, same part of the track again. We're going to see the same thing again this time. Paskin tucks in behind. This time looks for the inside, going through here. McLaren's so good on the brakes there, you can see into the final corner. How much time Paskin made up on Lansley as that McLaren literally seemed to stop on a sixpence. Still the same between Arella, Groot, Van Sond and Pavlicek. Half a second covering each car. Paskin lay one on Lansley here. It's It's not the ideal passing place, but I have seen them done that. If you can get the exit of this corner spot on. Got a chance to get through this section with a chance up the hill. And they're going to have another go as Ian Paskin up the hill. That McLaren seeming to carry a lot more pace through that section than the Nissan. Paskin goes wide. Going to cut back on the Nissan, is he? Manzi takes that line, takes it away from Paskin, and they're going to carry on as they are. Meanwhile, Christian Groot just 2.1 off the back of Arella here. Looks up the inside. I said we wouldn't see many overtakes done here. I'll stand by that. Although Yves van Sond, you see what? That's the problem there. Christian Groot trying round the outside, had to get off it for Arella, and van Sond doing the absolutely correct thing there, snatching that place off Christian Groot. So nice driving Yves van Sond. Unlucky Christian Groot tried for the overtake on Arella and all of a sudden finds himself back 2 places. Dusk now at Kyalami. You can see the lights are on. Just a quarter of an hour left to go. Making sure chat's still awake. You see, chat didn't update. There we go. So these 4 around again. Oh, van Sond gets it a little bit wrong there, but manages to pull it back. Further down, Milanovic. Barakkunt. Going into turn 1. This is the battle for 15th position. Lansley and Paskin still going at it. That's those 2. Further down the field, Barraclough and Mackenberg. Mackenberg going very deep there, and you just saw behind. It's like Cliff Bulcke on his recovery there. Blue flag, that's how you do it, Jody Barraclough. Mackenberg, unfortunately though. Oh, gets it all wrong. That's going to be hard to stop. Watch out, Cliff Bulcke. There's a Bentley flying towards you. Yeah, Mackenberg. Interesting lines. Jody Barraclough watches it all. Going on, wondering what's going to happen, and as they go around the final corner, it's as you were. Barraclough just ahead of Mackenberg. Lansley and Paskin are swapping positions again. It's all happening up front as well with Arella, van Sond and Groot, so I need to jump to that one soon, but these 2 are really tooth and nailing it out. Anyway, let's go to the Arella one. Arella, van Sond, Groot and Pavlicek. I think through T1 van Sond was level with Arella because my timing chart gave me that. You can see Pavlicek looking around the outside behind these 2 of Christian Groot, but that's not working. Car behind them, I think, is Santiago Carew. Not involved in this. In fact, no, it might actually be Andre Bergsma. Sorry, not Andre Bergsma. Robert Horvath. That can't be Horvath. It must be Santiago Carew. My apologies. Robert Horvath's currently in 13th, about 20 seconds behind these battles. So It must be Miguel Santiago Caru. Not involved in this battle at green. Aston at the back of the 4. The car behind Pavlicek is Cliff Bulcke, currently 6 seconds off the back. But Arella looks like he's got himself some breathing space on Von Sond here. In fact, Pavlicek's just got past. He's got past both of them. Got past Von Sond and Christian Groth. This is the view from Christian Groth's car. Von Sond making sure he doesn't have much room there on the inside. Von Sond's BMW looking like it need a paint job after this. In front though, Deprataire leads Beyer by 38 seconds now. He's got 8 seconds on De Keyser, who's got 8 seconds on Camaletto, who's got 8 seconds on Britton, who's got 8 seconds on Arella. So providing any mishaps, that should stay like that until the end of the race. Pavlicek, you can see in front there of Von Sond. That's Arella just going out to the corner now. And these three, they've got a 4-second gap back to Cliff Bulcke, who's made up 3 seconds in that final corner switcheroo. And it's Coaston, Horvath, Binnersley, Dhoore. Horvath, Binnersley and Dhoore all having a little soiree back there. Just have a look and see if Groth can get past Von Sond here. He can't, and that's not going to help him either. That's Horvath, Binnersley and David Dhoore, all covered by a second. Marinovic and Burak Kunt still going at it. This is the battle for 12th. Horvath 12th, Binnersley 13th, David Dhoore 14th on a comeback drive. David Dhoore here. Teammate Cliff Bulcke up in 10th, so they really need to try and eke out as many points as they can. Dhoore will be really looking to get past these two, and it's 17 seconds up the road to Tommy Coaston, so 12th is about the maximum David can achieve here. And Cliff Bulcke's got his work out to get the 3 seconds up the road to Christian Groth, and all of a sudden he's got Groth, Von Sond and Pavlicek all together, so there is a chance of 7th. But that's asking quite a lot in 7 minutes for Cliff Bulcke, especially considering that car's probably got a little bit of damage on it as well. Yellow flag for Paskin and Lansley. Is that Lansley off? Yeah, damaged car for Sev Lansley. So that battle between Lansley and Paskin's come to an end. And there you go, that's what happened. So easy to do. Unfortunately, he's gone past the pits as well, Lansley, so he's got to go and do a whole lap of a destroyed car as well. So he tried, did Sev, and had a good battle with Ian Paskin there, but Ian wins. Also, looks like Wacky Teddy's gone off on his own further back there as well. So he's lost a place as well. Pavlicek though is away from this battle now between Von Sond and Groth, so cementing that 7th place. While these two battle it out for 8th. Horvath, Binnersley and Dhoore separated now by a second. It was close there for a while, but I'm guessing some close racing has meant a few little nudges here and there and time lost. That battle's settled down now. I mean, this is pretty close, but it is the closest battle on the field at the moment. Apart from Richard Vanema and Nick Wicklander, they're going at it tooth and nail at the back with 5 minutes to go. Fair play to those guys, 25th and 26th. Vanema winning that battle currently, just ahead of Nick Wicklander in 26th. So hope they're enjoying themselves back there. Also Andre Moll and Ruud Dennis having their own little spat as well, 30th and 29th. Pavel Bogdan, unfortunately, running well in the race earlier on. Goes into the pits and currently sits 35 out of 36. We've lost 2. Sonio Alpha's one of them. I don't know who the other one was. But we're 2 down as we are getting pretty dark now here at Kyalami. It was 5 minutes to go. Said that battle between Binnersley and Dhoore had gone away. Not quite sure that's the case. There is Dhoore. I wonder if they've just let Deprataire through and that's put them back together. Binnersley on the inside of here. Going to make sure Dhore's got no room on the outside. Nice driving, Rick Binnersley. Takes it not. Oh, gets a wiggle on. Dhoore waiting for a snap. See which way he goes, left or right, but it didn't come. Binnersley keeps it all together. And they're going to cross the line 13th and 14th respectively. 3 more laps to go if that is Deprataire in front. Arella's had an incident. I don't believe it. I've never said that before in my life. Ralf Arella has had his little incident there. He's fallen back. Contact looks like it might have been a back marker. Oh no, let's not hope it isn't. Oh, that car there, I think that's Walt Graves. Yeah. A bit of netcode, a bit of lag, a bit of whatever. Unfortunately, collected Ralf Arella. I didn't think it would be a mistake from Arella, but unfortunately, Team 77 suffering more misfortune. Ralf Arella struggling in 10th now. Pavlicek finds himself up to 6th. Paradigm Shift running 4 and 6. WRT running 1 and 3. There'll be some big changes in the team championship after this, that's for sure. So we continue on. Clock ticks down 3 minutes. Cameraman just tries to catch up with Von Sond and Groert again. Binnersley and Dhoore still same sort of distance between each other. Milanovic and Burak couldn't have also been out for some time as well. Cliff Bulcke, look at that, manages to climb onto the back of this. With 7 minutes to go, I'm not sure if he'll manage to get Arella. Well, he's got Arella. Arella's behind him now. He's just got to get Groert and Von Sond here, and he'll find himself in that 7th position that I thought he might end up with if he was really, really lucky. Well, there it is, Cliff. You can see it in front of you. You've got 2 laps to make it happen. Von Sond goes very deep into there as well. Out in front, however, Deprataire 43 seconds now ahead of Max Beyer. Max Beyer 3 seconds between him and De Keyser. As fast as Amadeo is, Max is also pretty quick as well. I don't think Amadeo's got that in him, that's for sure. Well, it's not for sure, but I'd put your mortgage on it, that's for sure. McLaren there of either Paskin or Cocaine moves out of the way for Pavlicek. Nice driving from him. Oh, Bulk's going for a dive. Ooh. That was optimistic to say the least, but he's made up some time there, that's for sure. So again, the Golf McLaren gets out of the way for Von Sond. Groet bangs his way through, and Bulcke will try and do the same along this stretch here as well. Didn't really need to see a back marker at this stage, Cliff Bulcke, but he's out the way now and done. But more precious seconds lost. Meanwhile, Binnersley's lost a couple of places there. It's slipped back, and Britton's now got ahead of Manojlovic as well. Matt Manojlovic takes it back. It's those two going at it through the twisty bits. But anyway, back to Von Sond, Groot and Bulcke. Von Sond on the inside, Bulcke. Oh, sorry, Groot on the outside there. This will be the last lap for these guys. Drive through for, who's that? Didn't see. Oh, there we go. Santiago Carew further down the field. He probably won't have time to serve that either unless he takes it on this lap. And you get a 30-second penalty, I think, if you don't. So it swings and roundabouts, really. Bulcke looking again for a dive into T1. It doesn't happen. Where is Deprataire on track? Just coming over the start-finish line, in fact. Bram Deprataire, I said, mate, what a fantastic drive. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Nothing else I can say about that, really. Big gap to Beyer in second. De Keyser's got that gap down to under 2 seconds now. That's Bulcke desperate. Looks to try to get past Christian Groot. Making that Bentley as big as he possibly can. David Dhoore, Britton, Manojlovic come through over the line. That's their race finished. They're lapped in 13th, 14th and 15th. Groot looking around the outside of Von Sond. That's giving Bulcke a chance down the hill. Him and Groot are going to go side by side. Groot's going to be outside of the fast left-hander, but the inside for the next one. If Groot can hang it there, he does on the dirt. Bulcke ahead of him though. Oh, Groot just got it wrong at the top of the hill there. Aggressive driving from Cliff. Bulcke gets one position. I don't think he's going to get two though. Max Beyer's gone through for second. De Keyser's gone through for third. Camaletto's gone through for fourth. Jim Britton fifth. Pavlicek sixth. And Von Sond goes through for seventh. Recovery drive from Cliff. In fact, recovery drive from Cliff, Bulcke, De Keyser. Pretty much all of them have had a recovery drive today. Christian Groot goes through for ninth. Arella's 10th. Koosnan 11th. Horvath's going to come home in 12th. He's going to be the last one to finish on the lead lap. And as I say, Dhoore, Kunt, Manojlovic, Paskin, Binnersley, Venema, and they're all swapping positions at the back because they've all gone through. So there we go. What a race. And what a performance from Bram Deprataire. There's plenty of action going on further through. Hey Marcel, good to see you, man. It was a great finish. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong at all. Cracking race. But like I said, plenty of action through the race. But Bram Deprataire, literally world class. Well, world class in this scenario. I'm not sure he's got it on Max. Not Max Beyer, Max Verstappen, but you know what I mean. In this scenario, it was a world class performance. Oh, shut up, I know what I mean. Right, let's go and get the replay up. Let's find it. Where are we? Quick back from there. Back from there. Gallery. Replays. Highlights. Boom. And we'll get the highlights up and running. So I'll leave this running for a second while I get some admin bits and pieces done. You see there the accident at the back of the grid. Look at them all piling into each other. Absolute mess. And again there. I'm sure there'll be some words afterwards. You never know, it might just get people in chat and see. What a race. What a race. Still trying to get my head around all the stuff that happened in that. Max Beyer there in second. About time Max had some, like I said at the start, wasn't much happening for him and his team. But, oh, another big incident there at the back. Wow. So there's your 1, 2, 3, Deprataire, Beyer and Kaiser. Good running again from Team WRT, first and third. Nice performance from those guys. Jack Camiletto's jumped in the chat room, I see. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
Hello, mate. Doing? That was not bad. Race for you, mate.
It was all right. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
I had one hand on the podium. One hand.
I know, man. You fought him off as best you could, but
he's still fast, man.
He is, isn't he?
Something's going on with the fuel in that car. I need to get checked. How are you? How did you enjoy the race?
Yeah, it was good, but we had a few incidents at the start, and I rather embarrassingly called a red flag, forgetting that we'd stopped doing red flags. So I hope nobody saw it in chat and it didn't cost anybody any time. But yeah, it was a bit of a mess at the start, I think.
Yeah, I got caught up in some of it, and yeah, I think it was on lap 1 or lap 2.
Lap 1.
Yeah, so on lap 1, and yeah, it cost me 10 seconds worth of aero damage for the whole race. So I think I lost a little bit of top speed.
That's probably why.
I decided to not fix it and just keep on keeping on, and yeah, it worked all right. It worked okay.
Paradigm shift doing all right today, man.
Yeah, very well. I think Radek finished just 2 positions behind me, so a P4 and a P6. I think that might be our best result of the season so far.
Yeah, it's pushed up the table. You'll jump ahead of 77.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Not that there's any rivalry there at all.
Not at all. Not at all. We will crush them.
It's more on the side of 77. And hello.
Hello. How you doing, Radek? That was an interesting race for you.
Oh yes. I think I used all my luck for this season.
You think?
This race. Yeah.
There was some good racing, right? You were in a four-way battle pretty much all race, I think, weren't you?
Not really. It was like last 20 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty much settled in this P10, I think. And I was slowly catching Ralf and the rest of the gang. Then I think Ivan joined it when he had some accident with Cliff, I think.
Yes.
And somehow, when this all unfolded, I ended up in P6.
Yeah, Ralf got caught behind, I think it was a lagging car.
Yeah,
and then
I saw that. I barely missed there. This is one of the reasons I think I used all my luck this race. I had like 2 or 3 more of those close calls.
Just watching the highlights, mate. Do carving through the field with Robert Horvath and everybody. You had an interesting race, man.
I had a little coming together with Robert.
Oh yes, we saw at the top of the hairpin. Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure I broke too late and tapped him in the back. I'm not sure if we lost any positions. Certainly time.
Yeah, I think he lost 1 position, but I think that was about it. I think we just looked at it on the replay there.
Could be that.
So yeah, I think it was just a Ferrari.
Yeah. But it was a Mateo, so it mattered.
Yeah, good race for you guys. I see Miguel's also in the chat as well, and Robert's in the chat as well. I'll let Radek and Mr. Horvath settle their differences separately. But Miguel, was that a good race? Did you get caught up in that stuff at the start?
Yeah. I thought I made it through, or I went around, but then I was tapped around, but not sure if I didn't keep my line or anything. But I was facing the wrong way in I guess almost last position.
Yeah, I think there was loads of cars facing the wrong way, so I don't think anybody could have done anything slightly differently there, Miguel. It's just how it is.
But then, well, I had some good racing. Made it a bit to, I think it's P17, P16. But then got a stop and go 30 again for speeding in the pit lane, like last.
I saw that in the last lap, wasn't it, virtually?
Yeah, no, during the pit stop.
Oh yes, of course. Sorry, yeah. My bad,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, but as I discussed with Robert, it's probably my best race pace-wise so far. Result doesn't really show, but I was able to more or less keep up with Jack and the gang until I had to let some guys behind me go, and then you fall, you lose some positions, you lose some seconds.
Yeah, sure, I understand. I'm glad you had some fun, man. I'm glad you got the pace back.
First time I've driven, yeah.
Oh really? That's not bad going then for your first time.
No. True.
Yeah, very good. Robert, if you turn your mic on, we can hear your side of the story. He's too busy swearing, obviously. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Hey, Robert, how you doing, man?
Sorry, I was messed up my headphones. So yeah.
Radek, apologise, mate, if it helps.
I'm here. My pace wasn't really good around this track as always, but surprisingly I could follow quite close the gang in the first half, but later on then I started to make more mistakes, and also got warning, so I collected a drive-through penalty even before halftime. So that was quite unfortunate and annoying, because I didn't gain any time, so any of my warnings was not valid, I guess, but that's it. I took my penalty.
Yeah. Don't worry, Robert. The mistakes club wasn't an exclusive one. James Mead absolutely trashed his car from second place. Amadeo wrecked his car almost from second place. Not quite as bad as James, but same fate as well. So don't worry. The mistakes club was not exclusive tonight to you. Don't worry about it, man.
Yes, and also around the season, it's not like quite a common.
Well, yeah, podium last time out, mate. So back to reality now.
Yeah, so yeah, I also at the start there was some party around me, ahead of me, so yeah. But after my pit stop, I was in the midfield after the drive-through, and I had really good fights with Nemanja, Seb, Rick, and others. Also David, I didn't know what he did, but he was behind me. Also, I don't even know the result yet. So who was second and us?
Second place was Max in the Nissan. He missed all the carnage really, and did really well, Max. So it's about time he had some luck, and a great recovery drive from Amadeo, who I think lost it at the sausage and lost a lot of time there, and managed to do a good comeback drive to come to third. So
he went off in the SS, I guess, because he was behind us, behind the gang, and yeah. Great race for Max.
Yeah, it was. Max did very well today. But yeah, Bram won by about 45 seconds, so it just shows the pace of that guy.
Congrats
Pretty
to
impressive.
All of them. It's a very hard track to race on.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything to say?
No, thank you.
Looking forward to Bathurst.
Oh, Bathurst next.
It's only 2 hours as well, isn't it? So that won't hurt you very much.
Shh, come on. That'll be interesting to go there, actually. I'm not sure what the best car is around there now with the latest BOP. But I remember the Bentley. The Bentley.
Yes, of course.
Being pretty handy around Bathurst back in the day.
To be honest, I felt much better in Lambo last year here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course you were.
With the Lambo last season.
And of course, Jack and Radek 1 and 2 last year, weren't you?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I will miss next round.
Oh no, Radek.
Yeah.
But
Who have we got to pay to get you in the race, man?
I actually was a bit distracted, and I agree on a trip.
Oh.
And it was already paid when I realized there is the Bathurst week. So yeah.
Oh
It's
well.
okay. It's okay. I'll bring it home for you, man.
I mean, it's okay.
P1 and P2.
It's like Bathurst is like the one race I always wait the most.
Yeah. It's a beauty.
Maybe we could add another round there.
Just Bathurst back to back, Bathurst next
Yeah,
round, Bathurst the next
Or
round.
maybe you can just give up your social life that none of us have got, Radek, that you seem to have.
I mean, we could do like season all races in Bathurst.
All Bathurst.
And everyone has to drive at least one car.
Yeah.
Of each. How many cars are there in?
Everyone with a jack.
Like 20.
Everyone with the jack.
I know about green hell, that just sounds like hell to me without any colour at all.
Yeah. Excellent.
Right, anyway.
Thanks for having us, Martin.
No, thanks for coming along and having the chat, guys. It was an epic race. It was good to watch. Vichy, I think I watched all of you having various battles at various times, so really good to watch. So thanks for your comments afterwards. Much appreciated.
Catch you later, guys. Take it easy.
See you later, boys and girls.
See you later.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.
So there you go. All the important drivers in the chat there at the end. Apart from, I'd really like to speak to Bram, but he's obviously spraying too much champagne. I'm trying to get some tips really, and maybe a quick lesson. But yeah, Deprataire winning by 45 seconds, I think it was in the end. But yeah, Camaletto, another great race for the Paradigm Shift boys, 4th and 6th. And Robert Horvath we watched as well, having a good old battle. And there's Miguel in the stream, fighting it out with Jody Barraclough there at the end. So yeah, cracking race. Like I said, fortnight's time. We're in Bathurst, so don't forget, if you haven't already, like the video because it's been epic, hasn't it? Be honest. Don't like it twice though, just like it once. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget subscribe, hit the bell button, and then when we go live in a fortnight's time for Bathurst, you don't want to miss that one. You'll get straight into the stream and straight into the action. So yeah, fortnight's time, join us for that one. 2-hour race around Bathurst, so make sure you've got a flask, some popcorn, crisps, whatever you want to eat on the side, because it's going to be fairly intense watching that one. Another track where one mistake can cost you dearly, as it's been here at Kyalami today. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I hope you've enjoyed watching all the drivers put in their best performances. And I'll do one last apology for the start of the race. I hope the red flag call didn't upset anybody or call anybody. Hopefully no one was watching and listening at the same time, but I think everyone carried on. Just a few drivers we lost there, which would like to have seen a battle between Deprataire, De Keyser and me at the start there, but take nothing away from Max Beyer. I'm great to see him back into form, back into luck there in second place. So congratulations throughout the field and commiserations throughout the field. Like I said, I'm pretty sure everyone's got a story to tell, apart from those two at the front who were pretty faultless tonight in their own way, Deprataire and Max Beyer. I think the difference between the two of them there, apart from maybe a few seconds, was the car. I think that Audi R8 is very well powered and did all it needed to do. But yeah, there we go. I'm going to sign off now, let you watch the end of the highlights. But yeah, so join us in 2 weeks' time. But until then, enjoy the F1 after you've watched this, or before. No, you need to watch this better than the F1. What am I saying? Watch the F1, go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, and enjoy whatever you've got left of your weekend, which by that stage will be nothing. So have a safe week next week, get plenty of practice in for Bathurst, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks again to all the guys at RRL, and especially to Crew Chief for sponsoring this series. Thanks again, and take care. Bye now.